What is your relationship to Bruce Nauman, Lawrence Weiner, and other artists featured in the exhibition? It is what it is, and you know, that's a more personal kind of question, because you know, you have personal relationships with. I have personal friendships and relationships with this group of people, and that's an individual thing. But it's also, it's a generational thing, of course, that's number one. And it's a generation that, you know, believed in certain ideas that were relevant to, you know, the period. And I always thought that what became known as conceptual art, which is what we were all found to be doing, was the kind of last international art movement of the 20th century. It may be the last of the period, because things have changed dramatically. But so as a generational idea, you know, we were all engaged in these certain ideas. And then on a personal level, you know, I for instance, I met John Baldessari in 1969. So I see some of them more and some, you know, more periodically, but we all kind of met at the same time. And also because I have always been a kind of bi-coastal type artist, maybe I probably met almost everybody that's in the show in the late 60s. And then because I tend to live bi-coastal, then, you know, people like Lawrence and Dan and others, I was able to continue, you know, the relationships while I was in New York, and everybody came out here all the time anyway. The only person I don't ever remember coming out here was Dan Graham. And how I met Dan, I don't remember, but we kind of bonded over late 60s music. And then Lawrence was out here doing shows, and of course, you know, the people who were out here, like Ruscha, of course, you know, you have a more local relationship, and you see them more. And so I met Ed, you know, probably in the late 60s also, mid to late 60s, when he rented my studio to shoot stills for his book Crackers. And so, you know, I see Ed, you know, around town or at openings, whatever. I see John around town, and then I see the rest of them, you know, periodically. Bruce Nauman, you know, when he was here in LA, then we would see each other a little bit. But then, you know, Bruce moved to New Mexico, I don't know, in the early 70s, I guess. So whenever I'm in New Mexico, usually Santa Fe, to see friends, then maybe I'll run into Bruce. Or go to his openings in New York or things like that. So every one of those people I have some kind of relationship with on an individual level, but also on a conceptual level of what we thought was the appropriate kind of art to make at the time. And that still goes on.